ready. Winter weather moving through New England.
We're tracking snow, ice, and even rain for your Sunday.
From out west in Worcester, right here in Boston, we have storm force coverage.
And there's more news tonight. President Trump's new proposal to end the government shutdown and why Democrats have already turned it down.
And the Patriots preparing for a clash with the Chiefs as they head to Kansas City in a battle of the best.
7 News at 9 starts now.
And here we go. First here at 9 o'clock, storm force tracking a messy mix of winter weather. You can see a live look right now in Worcester. It's starting to accumulate. Just actually about 2 hours ago, it was dry as a bone in Worcester. But now you can see that storm is starting.
Not so much anymore. Not dry at all. Our snow tracker is in Westminster right now on Route 2 West. Let's have a look here tonight. And you can see we're seeing some buildup on the roadways as we look live out in that area of Massachusetts this evening.
And we're keeping an eye on the radar as well. All of this pink and green and blue, you can see they're creeping into New England. That spells trouble for all of us. People across the area are bracing for this winter weather. And
crews are getting ready to make sure roads stay safe and, of course, the power stays on. We have storm force coverage tonight with our meteorologist tracking its path and live reports from across the state. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Reiners starts us off with the very latest forecast tonight.
All right, it's go time. We have snow now working through much of New England at this time. We've got snow in Metro Boston, back through Framingham, Natick, Worcester, and that will continue to expand and pick up in intensity as we head toward midnight tonight. We had several patches of snow shower and light snow activity along the coastline this afternoon, not necessarily tied to the storm, but the storm now approaching. And so the main shield of precipitation moving into southern New England. This is an impressive storm. It's got a lot of moisture with it, so that won't be in question. The question is, how quick does that snow change over to sleet? And I think tonight we finally have a confident answer to that. It's going to be fast, probably between 4 and 5 a.m. So it starts as snow, but it's short-lived. Here you go, 10 o'clock. We've got the snow across the region. And the deeper shades of purple here after midnight, those are pockets of heavier snow, 1 inch to perhaps 2 inches of snow per hour. But again, that snow window closes fairly quickly. You can see here as we hit 7 a.m. At that time, we've already seen the snow change to heavy rain in Boston, and then you work back into Metro West and the Worcester Hills and the Merrimack Valley. The pink will be pockets of freezing rain, some sleet as well. Southeastern Massachusetts, some heavy rain, and the snow band has been shoved well to the north across northern New York and northern New England. Early tomorrow afternoon, still raining heavily on the Cape and the Islands, perhaps a rumble of thunder. This system has that much energy, and as we work into the afternoon, the light sleet at that time will give way to some patchy light snow and flurries, and by 7 o'clock tomorrow night, storm is peeling out of here with a whole new set of issues that Josh will detail in a few seconds. So tomorrow during the day, the snow is out of the picture. You'll have heavy rain, which then will perhaps become a late day freeze, and then this area here, that is your freezing rain. I'm not overly concerned about significant ice, but I do think there's going to be some ice buildup on trees and power lines, and that could lead to some power disruption, especially back into central Worcester County and south of the Mass Pike. Your snowfall forecast, this will all be accounted for and on the ground before 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and a lot of this from Boston south will be washed away. Metro West into the Worcester Hills, 4 to 6. Merrimack Valley looks like 6 to 8 inches of snow. For more on the storm, here's Josh.
Yeah, and like you just saw on the tracker cameras there, the snow tracker cameras, a lot of those roads starting to already be covered by snow, especially for our western spots. So for the next couple of hours here, roads even further out to the east will begin to become slick with that little coating of snow on it as we begin with the light snow. But like JR just mentioned, the heavy snow arrives around midnight and continues to just about 5 a.m. So I do think we can expect snow-covered roads if you're out traveling at this time. It's just going to come down so hard and so fast that even though the road crews are out probably doing a fantastic job, they just won't be able to keep up with the amount of snow and how fast it comes. Then, like you just saw, it will then change over to sleet, freezing rain, or for a lot of us, just plain old rain, and then roads will become icy by the morning, the mid-morning time frame, and continuing all the way through the evening. Whether that's freezing rain or whether that's regular liquid rain that then refreezes as the cold air comes rushing in. It is not a good day for travel as we head throughout your day on Sunday. So if you're looking to take care of your driveway, take care of the sidewalk, the earlier you can get out, the better. The more often you can get out during the day, I think the better. We have the snow until about 4 or 5 o'clock. Then we start to mix in some sleet, a little bit of freezing rain in here, and that's when it's going to become pretty heavy. It's going to become wet, slushy snow. So this is going to take a lot more effort to clear off of the driveway. Whatever you do, probably do it before 2 o'clock, because if you wait until after that, that's when that cold air comes rushing in, and it will freeze the rain, it will freeze the slush. Not only will you have to shovel it off the driveway, you'll probably have to chip away at it. And there's that rush of cold air. So southeastern Mass, Cape Cod, and maybe even Martha's Vineyard that get that good soaking of rain will then see temperatures crash from well above freezing. Some of us close to 50 degrees tomorrow with the rain to eventually dropping into the single digits as we head into your Monday morning. So one other side effect that we have to touch on real fast is the coastal flooding concern. It's not great, but it's not zero. It includes the South Shore, Cape Cod, both islands for just minor flooding. And the main concern here would be during high tide. It includes Boston and the North Shore. High tide about 10 o'clock, and then we look at about 2 hours on either side of that. So if you are in one of these areas, watch for about 8 until noon tomorrow morning.
All right, Josh, and we want to get out to the western part of the state. We're looking at Worcester, as JR was saying. They're expecting to see between 4 to 6 inches, Justin.
Absolutely, and our Eric Kane is live there in Worcester. Eric, you've been there for several hours, and how it has changed in just the last few.
Definitely, Justin. The snowstorm has begun here in Worcester. It's not a really heavy snow. It's sort of a fine snow, sort of icy, that sort of stinks the face. So not much in terms of accumulation so far. As you can see, just a little light dusting here in downtown Worcester, but crews are already out in full force. In fact, here is one right over here. If we can just pan over here real quick and get this worker here plowing the area right outside of City Hall here. They're doing a pretty good job at keeping up with clearing the sidewalks. This is one sidewalk here in downtown. As you can see, they've been coming around here just in the past hour or so a few times, and the road conditions aren't too bad here. Of course, we're just beginning the night here, and this area is going to see several inches of snow, most of the snow falling overnight, and that's why state police want people to stay off of the roads. But many of the people that we spoke to here say that they're looking forward to the first good snowfall of the season.
I'm looking forward to a good storm. I like it. I grew up here. Winter means snow. That's part of the charm.
Are you excited for the snow?
Yeah, I'm really. I think I'm gonna make a snow angel.
And back out live, if you have a car that's parked in Worcester, you should know that there is a no parking ban in effect right now, and police say that they will be ticketing and towing cars, especially as the snowstorm enters the night when really the heavy snow will be coming down. So you want to make sure that you know about that. Also, if you need a place to park your car, the city says you can park it for free in a municipal parking lot. So we'll be here throughout the night giving you updates here from Worcester. We're live in Worcester. Eric Kane, 7 News 19.
All right, the storm force has you covered from the west side of the state to east side, coming back close to Boston. Let's switch now to Andover.
Yeah, our Steve Cooper is there on the scene this evening. And Steve, tell us, what are you seeing there? And we know you have your snacks with you too, of course, as always. So.
Yes, we do. What are you reading my mind now all of a sudden? I'll tell you what, it's like mind games with Mother Nature already with this storm, because the snow started, then it stopped, and now it's snowing again. So tonight it's going to be shovels. By tomorrow, people are going to be reaching for the umbrellas. And in between, we're talking about some temperatures that are expected to nosedive around here. Now, let's show you what things looked like just a little while ago here when the snow started flying, because that is when highway crews once again headed out and hit the roads here. One of the biggest problems right now is keeping ahead of the snow tonight, but they were trying to do that by pre-treating the roads earlier today by getting the salt and the sand out on the roads. And again, Saturday night, a lot of people sort of at home. They were out earlier, and most people say their concern right now is more with the ice than with the snow from this storm.
Well, my car does great in snow. I don't have any problems with my tires or anything, but the black ice, slipperiness, other drivers, that's more concerning.
Honestly, I hope we get buried in snow. I want a real winter.
Stick around.
Yeah, I'll stick around, exactly.
Be careful. Stay inside if you can.
All right, back live, and you can see here the winds are actually starting to pick up here in Andover. Again, so far, most of the major roads like 93 and 495 seem to be in decent shape at this point, but the side roads are starting to get slick and snow-covered, and we should probably point out that one of the things that people will be reaching for by the morning is this stuff right here. We're talking about ice melt, and a lot of people say that they're trying to sort of get that out on their sidewalks and the driveways and the stairs, just so by tomorrow when the temperatures start to take a nosedive, there won't be too many problems. But Kiki, as you mentioned, we are set to go, set to ride out the storm here. You guys can take your pick or come on up here and visit us. We're live in Andover tonight. Steve Cooper. I said I wasn't going to do that. 7 News 19.
We know you, Steve. Got to keep that sugar rush going throughout the night as you cover this storm. And we want to get a look at some other conditions across the state. Right now, we're going to head out to Fitchburg.
Yeah, our Brandon Gano is live there right now. Brandon, you've been there for several hours. How's it looking at this time?
Well, I want to start by saying it's always tough to follow Cooper when you're doing storm coverage, but here in Fitchburg, around 8:30, the snow finally started to fall, and when it first started falling, it was kind of pellety, almost a little icy, and then it was really fluffy, so it actually laid down a pretty good layer, nice and fast, but then it's really started to lighten up ever since then. So if you look like here at Main Street in Fitchburg, that was snow-covered, but only for about 10 minutes, and of course they pre-treated those roads, so it quickly melted. But you can see the flurries right now are just really light. There's not much to them. But just to show you, this is kind of like what all the road and area look like. It's not a lot, but it is fluffy, and it is kind of a good thick dusting. I wouldn't say a little bit more than a regular dusting. But here in Fitchburg, crews are keeping an eye on it. There's a parking ban in effect, and city leaders want to remind all the homeowners that if you own property here, to please make sure your sidewalks and any areas like that are clear of snow and ice. So we've seen a couple guys, like I know you can't turn around 180 degrees, but one truck right here that has a plow, but they're not setting them down yet, but they're getting ready to. But really here in Fitchburg, it's kind of just a waiting game right now, but again, you can see it's finally starting to snow a little bit. That's latest live in Fitchburg. Brandon Gano, 7 News 19.
All right, Brandon, thank you. And that's 2 shovels in a row we've seen here. Josh has been saying all night, shovel early and often before that ice starts to really pile up.
A good idea. And we want to have a look at the conditions in Framingham. We've been seeing the snow start to build up. Our Byron Barnett is out there on the ground tonight. And Byron, that snow is coming down pretty quickly there.
Yeah, this just started just a few minutes ago. It was pretty light most of the night, just kind of a light mist, kind of kept the roads just kind of wet, but still pretty bare. But within the last few minutes, the snow has picked up, and so has the wind. If you take a look out at the Mass Pike over here, not too much traffic. A lot of people are staying in. Staying in because of the storm and getting ready for that football game tomorrow. But the roads, you can see the snow is just starting to stick a little bit. This wasn't the case not even a half hour ago, but it's just starting to stick right now. Speeds of the cars are still up there pretty well. They haven't really slowed down that much. I would attribute that to the good salting job that the state highway crews have been doing out there. Standing around here in the plaza here, we're just crunching all over the salt that they put down. So that's kept things pretty safe. We talked to a few drivers who have been on the roads tonight who stopped in here to get some gasoline and windshield washer fluid. Here's what they had to say about the roads. Trying to get to your destination before the weather gets too bad?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get home before it gets too bad.
What's your biggest concern tonight?
It's just the freezing rain, I guess.
Yeah, we just came from Somerville, dropping a friend off, and it was a little slick there, but the Mass Pike is pretty good. I haven't had any problems.
Just getting home, I'm not too worried. I got the 4-wheel drive, so I'm all set.
Okay. What's the driving been like so far?
It's fine. Yeah, we're going, just average speeds. Some people are going slower.
I'm on my way back to New York. I just came from Boston, Logan. Snow up there, but the roads are clear. So just got to be safe. Take your time, be safe. Make sure you got your windshield wiper fluid, all that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff is great to have. You can see, again, light traffic out here, people trying to stay out of the storm, but the snow is just beginning to stick, as you can see. The snow coming down here, wind picking up a little bit, and again, a lot of people are stopping in to get the windshield wiper fluid, the few folks who are on the roads here, which is a really good idea because, you know, when the snow gets heavier, the wind gets stronger, it gets very hard to see out there, so make sure you got that windshield wiper fluid. So that's the latest live here along the Mass Pike. I'm Byron Barnett, 7 News.
Also new tonight, a pickup truck in Topsfield makes a smashing entrance into a home. Now, firefighters say this happened on Route 97. You see the damage to the building, and the truck there really takes off the front porch of the home. Now, fire crews are warning people in the area to stay off the roads if they can. No one in this situation was hurt, but again, good advice there from Topsfield Fire Department. Go ahead and stay off the roads if you can tonight.
And Mass DOT echoing that sentiment today, saying stay at home. That won't be too hard tomorrow, though, with the Patriots game, of course. And a lot of people are going to be watching that. And Michael Yoshida, though, he is live in Dorchester as crews prepare to get the salt out on the roadways. He joins us with more on that tonight.
Hey, Kiki, yeah, we're here at Boston Public Works in Dorchester, and I'll step out of the way. You can see a line of trucks there. This has been the scene all night here. Trucks lining up, getting their salt as they prepare to head out tonight ahead of the storm. But it's not just here in Boston. They're doing this across the state. If you take a look at video from earlier tonight out in Weston, you'll see DOT trucks loading up with salt as well. At my last check with Department of Transportation, they told me they had around 1,100 pieces of equipment out on the roads, and that number's likely going to rise close to 3,900 pieces of equipment by the time this storm hits its peak. Now, DOT officials again urging people to stay at home because along with the snow, they're expecting some very icy conditions out there. So again, this is their message for drivers tonight and tomorrow.
If you have to be out, please take a lot of extra caution. We're expecting some icy conditions. Ideally, though, tomorrow, stay in if you can. Do whatever errands you need to right now and get in quickly. We're expecting to have some tough travel situations tonight. If you do have to be anywhere, public transit is your best option at this point going forward for the next 24 hours.
And here's another live look again here at Boston Public Works in Dorchester. You can see the salt pile there in the distance. Crews working to fill up the trucks as they continue to drive in and out of here. Likely going to be a very busy night for them, but like also as you just heard from DOT, if you don't have to be out on the roadways, they're asking you to stay home, especially come tomorrow when conditions are likely going to be much icier. That's the latest live here in Boston tonight. Michael Yoshida, 7 News, Night Team.
And in another part of the city, meteorologist Heisel Martinez is live in downtown Boston right now. And Heisel, there were some flurries throughout the afternoon in the city, but it seems like especially the winds have picked up for you here in Boston.
Oh yeah, it's quite windy right now. And earlier, yes, we got a quick little dusting, and now we're seeing some light sleet come down. It's a type that has a little ice pellets, and it's been hitting my face as I've been waiting for the live shot, just holding my hands in front of my face. So yes, that is what's happening here in Boston. So it started off as a little bit of a mist, and then light sleet, and then now starting to pick up at least a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that earlier there was a little bit of a dusting here in the city, and that's making some of the sidewalks pretty slick out there. They're a little bit icy. The roads that have been treated here in downtown Boston are doing okay, but if you notice, those back roads are starting to see more of a coating out there. So just be very careful. We're going to see that heavy snowfall, especially past midnight through about 4 or 5 in the morning for a lot of us. So be very careful out there. If you don't have to go out, just don't go out there. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, temperatures will slowly start to rise, and some of us will switch over to some freezing rain. And then soon after that, we're going to see those temperatures really drop and see that flash freeze into tomorrow night.
All right, Heisel, and we want to take a look at our snow tracker here tonight. We're live on the roads in Gardner. This is on Route 2, and as you can tell, the conditions out there on the roadways are deteriorating. We're not seeing as many cars right now, which is probably a good thing. A lot of people, Mass DOT telling a lot of people rather to stay home if they can. You know, heed that warning and be safe, and stay with the news station as this storm continues for complete coverage from the 7 weather team. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, 7 News will have crews all over the state showing you the conditions. Our storm force coverage starts off at 7 a.m. sharp.
And changing gears now to the Pats in the playoffs. We are less than a day away from kickoff in the AFC Championship game. It'll be a battle of two great quarterbacks, with Tom Brady facing the Chiefs' young star Patrick Mahomes. Now, this game will determine who's heading to Super Bowl 53. We have night team coverage from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City ahead of tomorrow's big matchup. Let's start with sports director Joe Amorcino. Joe.
All right, the good news is it's supposed to warm up a little bit out here in Kansas City. Right now it's 14 degrees, feels like 0 degrees with the wind here. Luckily, it's going to warm up because I got to tell you, this is not football weather as much as people want to say it is. As for the matchup between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, all eyes will be on these quarterbacks. Tom Brady, the greatest ever. Mahomes, really the future of the position in the NFL, and they're ready to get it on in the AFC Championship tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's had really a spectacular season.
Tom Brady stating the obvious when asked about his Chiefs counterpart, Patrick Mahomes. The second-year phenom finished with 50 touchdown passes this season, becoming just the third player in NFL history to throw for 50 or more touchdowns in a single season. And he certainly has the full attention of the Patriots defense.
He can make all the throws. He's athletic enough to, extend plays. I mean, you don't really know where he's going to throw. I mean, he's a playmaker.
He's a great quarterback, and when you're dealing with great quarterbacks, you got to make it tough on him by different looks, getting good pressure, and forcing them to make errant throws.
Mahomes may be the future of the NFL, but his teammates know they must be wary of the standard bearer at the quarterback position of the previous generation.
They got a coach on the field. He sees everything. He's been playing for a while, so there's nothing you can throw at him that he hasn't seen. So I think to give us the best chance of winning, we got to keep him off the field.
But Brady knows securing a third straight Super Bowl berth will be no easy task.
They play hard. They're well coached, good on offense, good on defense, explosive returners, veteran coaches. Nothing's going to surprise them. We're both trying to get to the same place. And that's what the playoffs are all about. Be an exciting game.
And Mahomes expects more title game showdowns with Brady and the Patriots for years to come.
He's not trying to pass the torch anytime soon. I mean, he's played at a high level this year, and I expect him to keep playing at this level for at least another couple years.
Mahomes with some high hopes if he wants to be back here in the AFC Championship game again next year, considering what the Patriots done over the last few years. This is their 8th straight conference title game. He's got a long way to go before he can fill Tom Brady's shoes. Reporting live outside Arrowhead Stadium, Joe Amorcino, 7 News 19.
Both the Patriots and Chiefs advanced with strong running games in their playoff games last week. The night team Straight Air is live in Kansas City with how the Pats will try to win the ground battle tomorrow.
Yeah, Kiki, cold tonight, but the extreme weather not expected to be a factor tomorrow, though the elements will be in play. And whenever the weather gets rough, the run game can really help to balance things out. The Patriots have really found a rushing attack this year under rookie Sony Michel, and the Chiefs, very dynamic under Kareem Hunt, now turning another gear with Damian Williams in the backfield.
With so many weapons, whether it's in the run game with Williams, all of the guys that they put on the field to catch the ball, we can't have anybody that has a bad game Sunday.
Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill get a ton of attention, but running back Damian Williams starting to show his skills in place of Kareem Hunt.
As long as I'm playing football, as long as I'm involved, I was cool. At the end of the day, you want to be in the position where you can be the man. And I'm in the position right now, to be that man, and I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing.
Williams put up a career-high 129 yards last week against the Colts, the exact same mark of Patriots rookie standout Sony Michel against the Chargers.
In football, the mindset is just the will to want it. It's all about wanting to, you got to want it more than your defender. And me joining a great team, great players, great coaches, I knew they would, help me and teach me the way. And having these guys around me, I just followed their lead.
Sony, a primary option in a new-look Patriots offense, one that finished 5th in the league in rushing and will need the run game to find balance in keeping a very intimidating crowd at bay.
It's been great just working with the offensive line and seeing Sony, just the development he has had. He's been doing a great job. The offensive line been doing a great job, and it's just cool to be a part of it.
They run the ball, play action, hit you for a deep shot. So they kind of go off the run. So if they're successful with the run, it's going to be a long game.
And the Patriots did an outstanding job 1 week ago establishing the run game, playing off play action, really keeping some of those Chargers pass rushers at bay. The Chiefs even better at getting after the quarterback. They were tops in the NFL in sacks this past season. We're live outside Arrowhead Stadium tonight. Trey Dare, 7 News 19.
The Pats are in Kansas City now as well, but earlier today, they were headed to KC. Boarding buses on their way to the AFC Championship game. Pats Nation obviously excited for the matchup, and a lot of fans, the majority of fans, think that the team can advance to a third straight Super Bowl. Night Team's Kim Lucy has more.
All packed up and ready for another AFC Championship game. The Patriots boarding buses at Gillette Stadium, bound for the airport, and finally, Kansas City. Fans hope when they return, they'll bring a conference championship home with them.
I hope so. Go Pats.
It was a nail-biter the last time these teams faced off. The Patriots winning 43-40 on a Steven Gostkowski field goal to end the game.
It was a close game earlier in the season, so it's going to be a good fight, but I definitely think we're going to come out on top.
That Week 6 win was home at Gillette, where the Pats are undefeated this season. The road record, not as impressive, just 3-5 on the year. But the team taking off for Kansas City today, fans say they're still not worried.
Because we have Brady, and we have Gronk, and we have Edelman.
7-year-old Liam is ready for the game. Check out his fresh new haircut.
I love it. He does it every single year that they go to the postseason. So the barber at Woburn Barbershop knows exactly what to do.
All that practice has clearly paid off. Liam says this year's version is the best one yet.
All the colors feel like it looks way cooler.
Every fan ready to root this team on in their 8th straight AFC Championship game.
So they're on to Kansas City, but fans certainly hope this isn't the final send-off of the season. They're hoping to be right back here for Super Bowl week. Outside Gillette Stadium, Kim Lucy, 7 News 19.
And Trey and Joe, we will have you covered for the AFC Championship game. Look for the live reports from KC all weekend right here on 7 News.
And now to the latest on the government shutdown. President Trump pitching a proposal to end the shutdown, but Democrats rejecting the plan as the shutdown extends into day 29. Dan Housley has more from both sides tonight.
Well, Kiki, President Trump is pushing for a breakthrough. He's hoping this new proposal does just that. But Democrats are unanimous so far, unimpressed, and saying the president's new offer is just more of the same.
I am here today to break the logjam and provide Congress with a path forward to end the government shutdown.
President Trump making an offer aimed at ending the stalemate that has left the government shut down for 29 days now.
This is a common sense compromise both parties should embrace.
The president is suggesting he gets the $5.7 billion he wants from more border barriers, and in return, the president would approve 3 years of protection for the so-called Dreamers and a 3-year extension of temporary protection status for immigrants whose protection is running out.
Our proposal is not intended to solve all of our immigration challenges. This plan solves the immediate crisis.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already said the president's offer won't do, issuing a statement that reads in part, "It is unlikely that any one of these provisions alone would pass the House, and taken together, they are a non-starter. For one thing, this proposal does not include the permanent solution for the Dreamers and TPS recipients." Massachusetts' newest Congresswoman, Ayanna Pressley, says Dreamers and other immigrants don't want to be used as bargaining chips.
You cannot barter with people's lives, and they don't want a hate wall. What I hope this man, this occupant of the White House says, is that he's going to end this shutdown.
Other Democrats are also saying they won't even talk about a deal until the president agrees to reopen the government first.
You can't negotiate by keeping the government hostage. We need to reopen the government, and then we can sit down and try and reach an agreement. There's been no sit down yet. This is just negotiations by TV spotlights.
So both sides are expected to bring forward legislation this week. The Republican plan will likely pass in the Senate, the Democratic plan in the House. But a proposal that will pass both houses and get signed by the president is still nowhere to be found. Live at the news desk, Dan Housley, 7 News 19.
Still to come here on the night team, a sea of pink. Thousands gathering across the country and right here in Boston, marching with a message.
Plus a hard hit. Bruins goalie took a rack going down on the ice tonight. Out.
And we are in storm force coverage here at 7. A live look in Andover tonight where you can see that snow is coming down.
And we are now into the storm, and that will start to ramp up as we approach midnight. Timeline of that sleet and rain, that's in a few minutes.
And as JR said, we are into the storm. Live look in Framingham right now. You can see the flurries flying. Cars still take it nice and slow on the highway. That's good. Keep that ahead if you can. Go ahead and call an early night. Relax. Enjoy the 7 News Storm Force coverage. We continue after the break.